Today at the Liquor Camp, we're bringing you Four Roses Bourbon. Four Roses and their products have been a personal favorite of mine for a very long time. Four Roses Bourbon has been a staple here at the camp since the beginning. I got introduced to the whiskey world through Crown Royal. I started drinking it mostly as a mixed cocktail and then started drinking it straight from there. And from that, I started exploring bourbons and Irish whiskeys and scotches. It was kind of like the gateway drug, if it were, to the bourbon world for me. I found Four Roses, what they used to call the yellow label, but now is just called the Four Roses Bourbon. It's a fantastic staple, it's great in cocktails, and it's great on its own. It's also what I would tell someone new to the bourbon world. I wouldn't call this a beginner bourbon, but it's not going to scare them away. It's not going to be too strong. It's not going to be too unique or heavy on one particular flavor or another, but it's a fantastic bourbon. Now this is made, their campus and their distillery is in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, and if any of you have been lucky enough to go to their distillery, their campus is absolutely beautiful. You kind of go down a country road and it opens up into this gorgeous valley, and the distillery is right there on top. Their landscaping's phenomenal. The architecture of the building is great. I was lucky enough to be at the Four Roses Distillery for one of my birthdays, and Brent Elliott was there. We even got him to sign a bottle. It was a real treat, and I encourage you to go. If you get a chance to go to any distillery, honestly, it gives you a neat, unique perspective of the products that are being made out of that distillery, and it allows you to appreciate the work and the craftsmanship that goes into these bourbons. Even though this is what I would consider an entry-level Four Roses bourbon, it's still a fantastic bottle that has a lot of work and a lot of heart in it, and it's definitely one that I would recommend. Now, I've had this many times, but every time I open it, I still get something unique out of this. This particular bourbon is a blend of all 10 of Four Roses recipes. Go to their website and check it out because they explain it much better than I can, but Four Roses uses 2 mash bills and 5 different yeast strains, so they're able to develop 10 unique recipes out of that. And this one is a blend of all 10 of them. If you've tried a bunch of bourbons, you're going to understand that Four Roses has a unique flavor. You can usually pick them out from other bourbons that I have tried anyway. I can taste the difference. Right off the bat, I get a real good hit of what I would consider the quintessential bourbon's aroma. If you've ever been to a rick house, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's that oaky aroma that comes from the barrel's aging. I get the oak, I get a real nice pear and even a little bit of honey in that. Maybe a little bit of cherry. On the palate, you do get that oak, but it isn't until the back end. In the beginning, I get a little bit of pear, some vanilla. I get a little bit of clove as well, and maybe some walnut. But it has a really nice finish as well. It's another reason why I would recommend someone that's new to the bourbon world pick this one up, because it's got a very well blended, nice, round, soft palate and nose to it. It's not going to scare somebody that's new to the bourbon world off. It's got no hard edges to it. It is a really nice, drinkable bourbon. Again, I think you could most definitely put that in a cocktail and still taste that good bourbon flavor with it. It's strong enough and robust enough to stand on its own if you wanted to drink it neat or over ice. but it's also strong enough to still be detectable in a cocktail, which I really like. I don't like losing the whiskey in a cocktail, and this is not one that you're going to lose it with. You could mix this with Diet Coke or whatever you want to mix it with. You're still going to taste the bourbon. And that to me is a sign of a really good bourbon. It's versatile. It's 80 proof, so it's not going to smack you in the face. It's sweet, but it also has a lot of those good fruit and honey and even oaky notes to it. Really good pick. Definitely one I would say is a staple for any bourbon collection or any bar. I really like it, and I think you will too. Thanks for joining me here at the camp today. Please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so you can join us when we open our next bottle.